the jealousy of Caitlin Clark from WNBA players is quite evident. But I don't think that it's necessarily a negative thing, because if you guys are keeping up with the current events as it relates to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, we all know that, I don't know if you guys have recently heard the interview, or I guess it wasn't like an official interview, just a reporter asking questions. And Diana Taurasi, responded saying, yeah, Caitlin Clark, she's doing things, she's amazing, she's great, she's doing things against 18, 19-year-olds, but, when she gets into the WNBA, we got to see, can she do it against grown women? So, I know people may say that's not jealousy, but that is. But jealousy is not necessarily a bad thing. We've been molded and brought up in a way to look at jealousy as something that's negative. No, everything that you deal with, every emotion that you come in contact with within your frequency, within your orb, within your aura, could be either used for negative or used for good. In terms of profit and revenue sharing and revenue gains, being jealous of Caitlin Clark, forcing her to prove herself in the WNBA, is a good thing. Why? Because it increases competition. Now people have something to prove. Not only does the WNBA want to prove to this girl that you're not bigger than the WNBA. Now, why do I even say that? Why am I even saying the term bigger than the WNBA? Well, Caitlin Clark was bigger than the WNBA this year. More people were in tune to her games than they were to the WNBA collectively as a whole. By herself, Caitlin Clark, by herself single-handedly carried women's sports. Not just college sports, but women's sports. But for the sake of this conversation, let's keep everything confined to just basketball, women's basketball. Caitlin Clark, household name. Even me, I don't even care about women's sports. I found myself watching her. I wanted to see what the big deal was. And every time I watched, she delivered. So that type of energy that's being put forth towards Caitlin Clark and all of the attention that she's garnering due to her excellent play on the basketball court, while the WNBA sits back saying, hey, we've been doing this we've been playing for years and we haven't gotten this much attention. You know what comes out of that? You know what's conceived from that acknowledgement? It's an inevitable emotion that we cannot escape. It's not something that you premeditatively wake up and say, I'm going to be jealous today. No, it's instant. It's impulsive. It's part of the human DNA. It's part of the human biochemical makeup. You've put in blood, sweat, and tears in the WNBA, Diana Taurasi, or anybody else, or the WNBA as a collective. Even past, present players who have retired already, and players that are currently still playing. They're like, man, this girl's getting a lot of attention. When I played, I didn't get this much attention. I might not have been as good as her, but man, why? Everyone's watching us now because of her? Is she going to come into this WNBA and do to us what she did to the college players? You know what? And this is me echoing the sentiments of Diana Taurasi. If you watch that interview, you can see the smirk on her face, like, okay. So she has that look on her face, I'm the bad guy. You think you're the bad guy? Come prove you're the bad guy. Come over here and prove you're the bad guy. We see who's tougher. So that kind of energy is needed to spark competition and push for a better product on the basketball court. Say, but jealousy, no one's jealous. Yes, they are. They are. Not in a negative way, in a competitive way. You're getting all this attention, we're going to show you. So guess what's going to happen? The intensity is going to increase. The intensity on the defensive end against her is going to increase. Every arena she goes to is going to be sold out. People are going to be coming there to watch Caitlin. She's going to have a big target on her back, but that's good for the game. It means that more eyes are watching. And then the opposition that's going against Caitlyn, they're going to be playing hard and tough because they do not want to be the player or the team that gets outdone by her. So yes, there's jealousy for Caitlyn Clark. And I like it. As long as the jealousy doesn't lead to a place where personal harm is being done, crimes being committed, things of that nature. We don't need those things. We need to eliminate those things. But jealousy to increase the energy output on the basketball court, I'm definitely for that. The product needs to be better. So yes, no longer do we need to prove ourselves to the men. We need to prove ourselves to the world because both women and men, young girls and young boys are watching. Is this little rookie going to come in and embarrass us? Is she bigger than us? No. So Caitlyn Clark is about to enter the WNBA. And it's going to be Caitlyn versus the WNBA. That's how big Caitlyn Clark is. It just is. It is what it is. Because you have two opposing forces. You have two powerful forces. The WNBA is its own force in and of itself. And Caitlyn Clark carried women's basketball by herself. So now you have these two meteors about to collide. And there's going to be a huge explosion as the aftermath. As a consequence of that collision, you're going to have an explosion. And that explosion is going to result in good things. More people are going to be watching. So keep being jealous, WNBA. I love it. And when Caitlyn Clark comes in, apply pressure. Expose her. Make her predicate her game based upon her weaknesses. Take away her strengths. And Caitlyn, I tell you this, evolve. Work on your weaknesses. Abandon your strengths. Your strengths are your strengths. Work on your weaknesses. Work on your drive game. Work on your floaters. Work on going to your right and shooting off the dribble. Because everyone knows that when you go to the right, you're trying to drive. When you go to the left, you're trying to shoot. So those are good things. That's a great thing for the WNBA. All right? All eyes are on it. And when all eyes are on you, it is time to perform. So that's my take on Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA's jealousy of her. Because there's a modicum of jealousy there. There has to be. Because the WNBA look at themselves like we're the professionals. We are the standard. You guys are acting like she's already the standard and she's not even here yet. So okay, we'll see. When she gets there, we'll see if she part of the standard and can she obliterate the standard and evolve and move the game to a higher, pedestal or move it to a higher level. We'll see if that can happen. All right, thank you guys for listening. Give me your comments and tell me what you guys think. All right, thank you, man.